Welcome to the Nation of History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. A dark silhouette-shaped mark on the concrete symbolizes the impact caused by the atomic attack on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, when the event left immediate marks on people and structures. This historical milestone revealed the devastating scale of nuclear weapons and motivated global debates about control and disarmament. Aloha Airlines Flight 243 suffered a serious structural failure during its route on April 28 of 1988, resulting in the death of a flight attendant. This episode exposed weaknesses in structural inspections of older aircraft, leading to improvements in the safety and maintenance of regional jets exposed to harsh tropical conditions. American troops celebrate the retaking of La Haye-du-Puy on July 15, 1944, just weeks after the success of D-Day on June 6. This advance marked the recovery of French territory and was crucial to Allied progress in World War II, speeding up the weakening of the German government in Europe. The Manhattan Project sign in Oak Ridge emphasized the need for total secrecy around scientific development in the 1940s. This caution helped ensure the success of the research that contributed to the end of World War II, marking the beginning of a new technological era and global changes in geopolitics and the international scene. Opposing and supporting movements around the debate over pregnancy and women's autonomy gained strength in the 1970s in Europe. The crucial point in this clash was the discussion over legal changes and greater protection of women's health, which expanded female autonomy and affected public policies on health and civil rights. The debate remains relevant. Saddam Hussein appears in military uniform during the Iran-Iraq War, a conflict from 1980 to 1988 that involved both countries in a struggle for regional supremacy. The war left deep political and social scars, affecting Middle Eastern stability for decades. In European train stations like the one shown at Platform 2, the impact of bombing during World War II was marked by the destruction of trains and infrastructure. The war affected vital transportation, interrupting movement and making civilian and military travel harder, shaping logistics and post-conflict rebuilding. Animals accompanying hand milking on Arch Battershear's farm in Fresno, California in 1954 reflect the importance of family farming after the war, a period of transition toward mechanized methods. This phase marked significant changes in rural production and the local economy. Neil Armstrong, wearing a spacesuit and helmet, prepared for the Gemini mission in 1966, a crucial step for the United States in the space race. This mission brought humanity closer to reaching the moon in 1969, a major milestone for space exploration and worldwide aerospace technology. Gerald P. Carr, commander of the Skylab 4 mission, showed his strength in 1974 by lifting William R. Pogue with one finger in zero gravity. This mission marked the longest stay in Earth orbit up to that time, expanding human knowledge about extended time in space. French soldiers displayed German Pickelhaube helmets obtained in the field in 1916 during the height of World War I. This practice symbolized partial advances and boosted troop morale in a conflict marked by major operations and fortified lines that transformed modern warfare and influenced European politics after 1918. The actress who shined in French cinema during the 1970s symbolizes an era marked by the rise of auteur cinema, a cultural milestone that influenced the world stage. That decade brought social and artistic changes that shaped how stories and characters were represented on screen. The railway incident in 1892 on the Bay of Quinte Railway in Ontario marked one of the most serious episodes in Canada's railroad growth. This case showed the urgent need for better line safety, speeding up reforms that would protect passengers and cargo during a period of rapid industrial expansion in the country. The SS Eastland episode, which happened in 1915 on the Chicago River, resulted in the deaths of 844 people, becoming one of the most significant maritime events in the United States during peacetime. This case revealed flaws in ship construction and safety at the time, leading to major reforms in boating safety rules to protect passengers. Jeremiah Liver-Eating Johnson, a hunter from the American Old West, became famous for extreme stories tied to conflicts with the Crow people after a family loss, reflecting tensions between settlers and native peoples in the 19th century, a period marked by clashes and disputes during United States territorial expansion. Fishermen in an Icelandic harbor cleaned fish in 1948, a post-World War II period that marked global economic recovery and the strengthening of Iceland's fishing industry. This moment was crucial for building the foundations of the country's sustainable economic development and reinforcing its sea-based cultural identity. The Maguire brothers became known as the world's heaviest identical twins, according to Guinness. Their condition drew global attention in the 1970s, showing serious health challenges and inspiring debates about health and genetics. They became a social and medical landmark of that era. Albert Pernot was publicly known as one of the heaviest men in Europe in 1955, drawing curiosity from newspapers and the public of that decade. The Frenchman needed modified vehicles and furniture to perform simple, everyday tasks, showing the structural limits faced in the middle of the century. The 1949 photograph in Newcastle shows a model posing uncomfortably during a bondage photo session, an unusual theme for the time. The post-war period accelerated artistic and cultural experimentation, showing the complexity of female expression. This image documents subtle social changes and emerging taboos in England. The 1913 photograph shows people of extreme heights in Europe enjoying drinks and card games, reflecting human diversity before World War I. This cultural moment came before deep political and social changes that would transform the continent in the following decades. Their gathering is a social testimony. The fossil of Archelon, a giant turtle from the Cretaceous period, was displayed at the Yale Museum in 1902, weighing more than about 4,850 pounds and measuring about 15 feet. This discovery is crucial for understanding the evolution of prehistoric marine reptiles and their adaptation to aquatic environments millions of years ago. The 1924 Winter Olympic Games, held in Chamonix in the French Alps, marked the official debut of this competition on the international calendar. This event was crucial for establishing winter sports on the world stage and encouraged the development of the events and infrastructure known today. Robert Cornelius made the first photographic self-portrait in 1839, remaining still for 15 minutes in front of his handmade camera, built with an opera lens and copper sheets. This milestone began the practice of the selfie, changing how we capture our own image in the history of photography. An important scientist visited Lincoln University in May 1946 to teach physics to students, marking a time when higher education was expanding after World War II, strengthening scientific knowledge and including new audiences in a field essential to technological and social progress. Brigitte Bardot visited Pablo Picasso's studio in 1956, an emblematic moment in modern art. Picasso significantly influenced 20th century painting, revolutionizing Cubism and redefining visual style. This visit symbolizes the meeting of popular culture and artistic avant-garde. The official coronation portrait of Queen Elizabeth II in June 1953 marks a decisive moment in the United Kingdom, symbolizing the continuity of the monarchy after World War II. This event strengthened British identity and influenced global culture, establishing Elizabeth II as a lasting icon of stability and tradition. Soldiers at Fort Keogh in Montana lived between 1890 and 1894 through a period of transition after the Indian Wars. The canteen, an essential social space, reflected military routine and the influence of the American presence in the region, marking the consolidation of control over the West and the advance of the frontier. Two members of the Absaroki tribe in Montana ride near their teepees in the snow, reflecting native life before the full cultural assimilation imposed by the American government in the early 20th century. This 1908 photograph illustrates indigenous resistance and the forced transition to reservations. In Tulare County, California, in 1892, workers cut trees to fuel railroad and industrial expansion in the United States. Deforestation drove economic development, but also started debates about environmental conservation that influenced future policies on forest management and sustainability. The opening of the Holland Tunnel in 1927 represented a major engineering advance by connecting New York and New Jersey beneath the Hudson River, marking the first vehicle tunnel with continuous mechanical ventilation, which allowed traffic to increase and supported regional economic development. The opening of the New York subway on October 27, 1904, marked a crucial advance in urban transportation, making fast and efficient travel possible for millions. This system transformed mobility in the city, driving its economic and social growth by easily connecting distant neighborhoods. The initiative modernized infrastructure and inspired other major urban centers to adopt underground transit. The comparison between a train operator in 1996 and 25 years later shows China's technological progress in railways. The transition from steam engine to high-speed train reflects the milestone of the first bullet train line opening in 2007, which changed transportation and accelerated national economic development. Nash Motors, a major name in the 1930s auto industry, changed the American market by introducing innovations such as the car elevator, improving sales. This advance contributed to the growth of cars accessible to the public, shaping the United States auto industry. The Citroën DS19, shown at the Milan Triennale in 1957, changed automotive design with its futuristic style and technical innovations such as hydraulic suspension, which transformed the industry. This model symbolized technological progress and post-war modernity, influencing decades of automotive engineering and style. An 18-year-old British inventor, H. Day, demonstrates in 1922 a headset connected to a wireless device under his top hat. This invention represents early progress in wireless communication, which would transform global interaction and become a forerunner of modern radio and telecommunications technologies. Testing protective vests in 1923 represented a crucial advance in the safety of public and operational teams, reflecting the growing need for prevention amid urban crime and post-World War I tensions. Research and production of this equipment helped protect countless lives in later decades. Inventions such as windsurfing, which appeared in the early 20th century, show the search for new kinds of leisure tied to technological progress and the use of natural resources. This early sport reflected social changes by encouraging outdoor activities, anticipating the popularity of modern sports practices. Auto racing was emerging as a new form of sport and leisure in the early 20th century, with auto polo created in 1913 as a game that combined racing with polo, showing technical and social innovations in entertainment. This sport, widely popular until World War I, valued skill and speed in a motor vehicle. Elvis Presley's performance at the Chicago Amphitheater in 1957 marked a cultural phenomenon, as fans showed intense emotion, reflecting the rise of rock in the United States. This popularity revealed the social and musical transformation of youth, driving a new era of freedom and global cultural influence. Liza Minnelli was a regular at Studio 54, the iconic New York club that became a stage for disco culture and the cultural changes of the 1970s. Opened in 1977, Studio 54 became a symbol of freedom and social diversity, influencing music, fashion, and behavior at the turn of the decade. The photograph of Madonna, captured by Helmut Newton in 1990, shows the vibrant look of the 1980s and 1990s, marked by bold makeup and iconic accessories. This era was crucial in establishing Madonna as a global pop music icon, influencing fashion and youth culture across later generations. The Godzilla films, produced between 1954 and 1965, marked progress in the use of practical effects and stop motion in Japanese cinema. The work reflected concerns of the nuclear age, influenced global pop culture, and launched the kaiju genre with major social and artistic impact. Ida Lupino stood out as an innovative actress and director in 1940s and 1950s cinema, a period when women were beginning to gain space behind the camera. Her pioneering contribution opened paths for future female filmmakers, challenging traditional Hollywood standards and expanding female representation in the audiovisual industry through meaningful personal work. Frida Kahlo, a 20th-century Mexican artist, became a landmark figure by expressing personal experiences and identities through art. Her self-portraits, both iconic and intense, explored emotional pain and Mexican culture, influencing generations and expanding the view of art as political and female expression. Her work remains vital. Sean Connery, known as the first actor to play spy James Bond in film, became a 1960s cultural icon, especially through the use of the Aston Martin DB5 in 1965. This car became a symbol of sophistication and technology in cinema, raising the franchise's popularity and influencing automotive design of the time. Centenarian survivors of the American Revolution witnessed the signing of Congress. This event, which occurred in 1774, marked the beginning of United States independence and changed the world political system by strengthening ideals of freedom and popular self-determination, essential to modern history. Anita Ekberg, an icon of cinema and 1950s fashion, represents the style and glamour of that decade, which was marked by major cultural changes. Her image reflects the classic look that influenced swimwear and popular culture, highlighting the value placed on femininity and entertainment after the war. Disney artists studied deer for the film Bambi, released in 1942, a milestone in animation for bringing realism to wildlife and the forest. This pioneering work influenced the technical and artistic development of animated film, reinforcing the importance of natural observation in audiovisual production. The gathering of Mickey Mouse Club members in Ocean Park, California, in the early 1930s marked one of the first cultural expressions around the character created by Walt Disney in 1928. This meeting anticipated the club's global success, encouraging popular attachment and the growth of children's marketing. The Ringling Brothers Circus was one of the largest traveling circuses in the United States, known for transporting animals and performers by train to many cities. In 1963, this image shows the importance of railroad transportation to popular culture, helping the show move around and encouraging social interaction in a pre-television era. The McDonald brothers opened their first restaurant in San Bernardino, California, in November 1948, remembered as the first hamburger drive-in in America. This business changed the food industry by introducing the fast food concept, deeply influencing consumer habits and American culture. McDonald's employees in the 1980s worked during a period marked by the company's global expansion, which popularized fast food and influenced eating habits across many cultures. Standardized service and items such as dogs and shakes reflect this new era of quick and accessible consumption. The enthusiasm at Tupperware parties in the 1950s revealed a social phenomenon in the United States, where women built direct sales networks in their homes, promoting economic independence. This practice changed home-based commerce, influencing the consumer market and women's independence in the following decades. The flapper style of the 1920s represented women's cultural revolution after World War I, marking greater freedom in fashion and behavior. This movement anticipated gains in women's civil rights and transformed Western society, symbolizing modernization and the end of Victorian-era moral rigidity. The Charleston dance, performed by young people dressed in 1920s fashion, symbolizes cultural freedom and the breaking of taboos in the Jazz Age. This movement marked a period of social change in the United States, with greater female presence and changing customs, reflecting post-World War I optimism. The Longchamp race course in Paris brought aristocrats together at the Prix du Prince de Galles in May 1908, a highly prestigious social and sporting event. The occasion reflected the elegant fashion of the Belle Époque and the growing role of women in European urban society, marking cultural changes. The Grand Canyon in Arizona has attracted tourists since the early 20th century, as shown by this 1914 visit. The rise of automobiles allowed greater access to remote places, driving tourism and the conservation of natural areas. This movement helped lead to the creation of Grand Canyon National Park in 1919. Jonathan, the tortoise at Plantation House on St. Helena, has symbolized natural longevity since the 19th century. Recorded between 1882 and 1886, Jonathan's survival highlights local wildlife preservation and became a historical landmark by representing animal life that spans centuries, attracting ecological interest and tourism. Deadwood, South Dakota, was a stage for the gold rush in 1876, drawing pioneers and miners into a precarious life. Its rough formation illustrates the expansion of the American West, symbolizing the search for wealth and the social and economic transformation of the region in the 19th century. Four prospectors pose on a trail in Alaska, symbolizing the height of the Klondike Gold Rush around 1897. This event mobilized thousands in search of wealth, driving settlement in the region and speeding up its economic and social development. The search for gold transformed Alaska's history. Jesse James was a controversial figure who led a well-known group in the United States after the Civil War. Between 1866 and 1882, he carried out raids on banks and trains, becoming a symbol of the Old West. His end in 1882 marked the closing of the era of legendary figures tied to the American frontier. Andren Sylvester's saloon in Georgetown, Colorado, represents typical social life in the American West between 1892 and 1900, a period marked by the expansion of mining towns. Bars like this were essential meeting places for workers and settlers, reflecting the economic and cultural rhythm of these growing communities. A stop on Washington Street in Phoenix, Arizona, illustrates the urban and social growth of the American West. Around 1895, the introduction of services such as electricity and telephones changed local life, driving economic development and regional modernization as the area gained strategic importance in the country. Carrying mail through rural Texas in the early 20th century involved major challenges, as shown by the mule-drawn wagon around 1907. This form of transportation was essential for connecting isolated communities before automobiles became common, ensuring communication and integration during a period of territorial expansion in the United States. In 1919 in San Francisco, the moving of entire houses was recorded, a pioneering technique that showed innovation in urban engineering and the value of residential heritage. This practice allowed historic buildings to be preserved instead of destroyed, influencing modern methods of architectural conservation. Since 1878, Steinway used a patented method to bend the inner and outer parts of the piano rim as one continuous piece, increasing the strength of the structure. The photo seen from above shows workers shaping the wood around the form. This process helped standardize the production of concert pianos. Old soda machines, like this one priced at 35 cents, marked an era by offering classic Coca-Cola drinks in glass bottles, valued for their flavor. This model symbolizes the shift toward automated convenience in urban consumption during the 20th century. The man dressed in a typical late 19th century suit presents a mechanical crank-operated device, probably used for abdominal massages, as suggested by the text, "Come and enjoy a gentle stomach massage." This practice reflects advances in body therapies that contributed to preventive health at the time. Divers in 1935 used heavy and limited equipment, reflecting the technological advances of that era in maritime exploration. This period marked the basic development of professional diving, which made greater underwater discoveries possible and helped improve the safety and efficiency of naval and scientific operations. Economic crises in Spain in 1957 forced many families to emigrate, seeking better conditions in Buenos Aires. This migration marked a historical period of departure in search of new opportunities, changing both regions demographically and culturally, while separating generations in search of hope and a new beginning. A young Crimean Tatar woman symbolizes the culture of her people before the Russian Revolution, when Crimea was part of the Russian Empire. In the early 1900s, the Crimean Tatar community kept its traditions alive, but would later face major changes under the Soviet system established after 1917, which affected their land and rights. Mexican women wear traditional clothing, a symbol of indigenous cultural resistance preserved throughout the 20th century. This valuing of roots played an important role in national identity after the Mexican Revolution, strengthening social unity and pride in cultural origins amid modern and urban changes. The sign Rue Caron marks a Parisian street, a setting that recalls the city's urban changes after Haussmann's plans in the mid-19th century. These reforms modernized Paris, reshaped its social and architectural structure, and influenced European cultural and political development in the 20th century. Meal preparation aboard the 377 Stratocruiser in 1950 marked a major step forward in commercial aviation by bringing high-quality service to long flights. This helped turn air travel into a more comfortable and refined experience, expanding the popularity and reach of civil aviation during that period. Pioneers Lowell H. Smith and John P. Richter carried out the first aerial refueling on June 27, 1923, in San Diego. This breakthrough changed military aviation, allowing aircraft to fly farther and operate with greater independence, shaping future wartime strategies and the evolution of long-distance flights. Tourists enjoyed tea and sunbathing on top of the Great Pyramid in 1938, at a time when Egypt drew visitors through archaeological fascination. This early tourism encouraged greater worldwide interest in ancient civilizations, influencing the preservation and study of Egyptian historical heritage. The Ocean Spring Schoolgirls team celebrated the Mississippi Gulf Coast Championship title in 1946, an important milestone for local school sports at a time when women's basketball was gaining recognition. This achievement encouraged greater participation and visibility for women in regional sports, inspiring future teams. South Korean women of the Women's Army Corps showed organization as they marched in Pusan, a fortified United Nations city, on September 12, 1950. This moment took place during the Korean War, which began in June 1950, marking international intervention against the advance of Northern forces into South Korea. Young people gathered in front of a grocery store in Connecticut reflect everyday life in the United States after World War II in July 1949. This period marked the beginning of American economic prosperity and cultural changes that influenced society and consumption in the following decades. An elderly man prepares food outdoors in Ontario, Canada, portraying rural habits from the early 20th century. This setting reflects simple life before intense urbanization and industrialization, which were marked by mass migration to cities and deeply changed the Canadian economy and way of life. Women seeking new beauty standards challenged stereotypes in the 1940s, a time marked by World War II and deep social changes. Fashion reflected a new female independence that influenced future cultural movements and strengthened women's presence in the workforce. If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, please use the Super Thanks tool below. Your contribution helps us keep bringing you amazing historical content. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next video.